Okay, the recipient of your card is going to open the card and receive these I Love You gliders, and here's how you put them together. The instructions are in the card, but this will help this video. Tools, scissors, tape, ruler. Don't really need scissors. So we're going to do a couple of folds here. The first fold is what we call reflex on an aircraft, and I want to fold those up. You see, so I'm going to press down with a sharp edge against a hard surface, and that positions the fold. And then we're going to do another fold along the center line, so same thing, sharp edge, and then press. Once you've done that pressing, now it's going to behave better when you go to fold it. So one by one I'm going to fold these up. Now you want it to be maybe 25 to 35 degrees, maybe even more. You want them to be the same. There. I don't know if you can see the angle on that. So we can adjust this later. And second, we fold the center line enough so that it stays up. So there's one fold there and one fold there going across. This isn't quite ready to fly. It needs a ballast. So we're going to use this cute little strings of paper as a ballast. So you can curve this if you want. So I like to leave a little bit of space and then start curving. And there you go. So that makes a cute little ballast for the front. The reason we want this like this is we can trim it to change the balance. And you can also change the amount of bend later to really fine tune it. Because when you bend the paper, you're changing the distribution of the mass. So to install your ballast, small piece of tape, pick the ballast up with the tape, and then stick it on the front. So once the ballast is on it, it's ready for test flying. Now it won't fly yet, you need to adjust it. There's two adjustments you need to make. One of the adjustments is you're going to trim some of this off, just with scissors like that, just bit by bit. If you didn't have the scissors, just tear it off. Until the balance is just right. So we're just removing material from the front. The second is we need to make sure that it steers properly. You want it to glide nice and straight. Okay, I'm going to hold it here and just a gentle push. And that's what you want. Nice and even slope and not much turning. Now the one that I just made right here, as a rule, it'll have too much ballast, so when I launch it, it just goes down. So what we need to do is trim the ballast from the front. So I'm going to remove some of this ballast here, like so, and try again. What we want to do is remove ballast from the front by trimming it until you get a smooth glide like I showed earlier. So as you trim it, it'll get higher and higher, and eventually you'll get that lovely perfect glide. If you've trimmed too much, then what you'll see is this. That's called a phugoid. That means you trimmed too much. Now another thing you'll notice is it could be turning a bit, and that'll make it harder to fly. Let's imagine that it's turning left instead of going straight. What we need to do is find ways to make it go right. One way to make it go right is to raise the flap on the right side by bending it up more, and that will actually tell it to go right. Or you could actually reduce the flap on the left. That'll help it go right as well. You can also move the ballast to the right. So you could twist the ballast and fold it. I'm going to exaggerate this there. It's twisting to the right. So that more of the weight is over there, and that'll pull it to the right. And of course, everything is the same for turning it left. So if it was going right, to make it go left, I could raise this flap here, which will pull it that way, or I could reduce how much this one is raised, or move the ballast to the left. So you want to keep those experiments going until you get that steady glide. If you do that, then it'll be very easy to fly later. Pretty greasy in there. It's usually easier than this. As you can see,